Hey everybody, my name is Chelsea and this is Yoga with Chelsea. I'm going to take you through about a 20-minute yoga flow. Could be really nice if you're taking a break from work, you just need to get up and stretch, you haven't got up out of the bed yet today, or maybe you just need to offload a little bit of energy in between tasks. I got you. If you've seen any of my previous videos, a lot of this will be familiar. We're just kind of building up a little bit of a flow, and then we'll get more complex as these videos go on. So I'm really excited to take this journey with y'all. Please put any comments down below if you want to work on anything, if you want to talk about anything. You can also find me on the TikTok app. That's where I get real yap yap. Look, if you can't laugh during yoga, then I can't help you. This is for the silly gooses. It's strictly for the silly gooses. And without further ado, I'll see you on the mat. Let's get it. We're going to start seated in Sukhasana with your ankles in front of you and your knees out wide. I want you to sit so that your shoulders come back over your hips. You can find a little bit of lift through your chest, and maybe you can relax your shoulders down. I like to have my palms face up for some grounding energy. And so we're just going to start by focusing on the breath. You can close your eyes down here. You don't need to see me for this part. I'm going to close my eyes down too. And so we're just going to notice what's going on in the body right now. Become attuned to how we feel today. What's the same, what's different. Just noticing how the body responds to the current environment. Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it neutral? From here, I want you to send your awareness to the space just above your belly button where your solar plexus is. And so I want you to exhale very deeply. Push all of the air out of your body. Then I want you to inhale. Feel that kind of pushing out, this widening of the diaphragm as you inhale. Your lungs become full. And then feel this retreat as you exhale. You might even put your hands in that space or your hands around your rib cage to feel the breath. Inhale nice and deeply. Fill up your lungs. Fill up the torso of your body. Get completely full. And then exhale super deeply, slowly pushing all of the air out, becoming empty, like emptying out a jug of water. We'll take 2 rounds of deep breaths like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. All right, let's move a little bit. Drop your right ear down to your right shoulder. Look up towards the ceiling. Keep that length in your spine. Maybe find some lift through your chest. And then melt your right ear a little closer to your right shoulder. You can play with the direction of your chin. That might help you access a more, that might help you access a stretch that is more suitable for your neck. Something that you feel some sensation, not necessarily pain. Bring your chin back up to center and slowly melt your left ear over to the left. Let your right shoulder relax. It'll have a tendency to follow you. See if you can stay rooted in your 2 sits bones as you lift your chest up, find some length in your spine, and then melt your ear a little closer to your shoulder. Again, you can tilt your chin down or up if that feels okay. And breathe into that stretch on the right side of the neck. All right, we're gonna bring the chin back to center. We're gonna take half circles with the chin. So go ahead and take your right ear down to your right shoulder. Draw your head forward and around, your left ear to your left shoulder. And then the other way, right ear to right shoulder. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Very nice. From here, take both arms up overhead. Reach up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders, maybe press your palms together and look up towards your fingertips. Okay, we're gonna take a little twist through the spine here. Take your right hand over to your left knee and your left hand behind you. Root your left hand down to the floor behind you as you find some lift through your chest, and then look behind you. Use your ocular nerve. Simply look over your shoulder. Don't push any muscles. Try to pull anything here. We're finding a natural twist, not through the shoulders, but through your spine here. Inhale, take both arms up overhead. We're going to take it to the other side. Take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Find that lift through the chest. Gently look over the right shoulder. Again, we're not twisting through the shoulders. You don't need to pull anything or push anything. Just see if you can find a natural twist with the spine. All right, inhale, arms back up. Right hand to left knee, find that twist, look back. Inhale, both arms up. Left palm to right knee, right hand behind you, find that twist, look back. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling, reach up. Exhale, your hands back down to your knees. We're gonna find those cat-cows, those seated cat-cows. Stay where you are. I'm going to turn so you can see my spine. So you can see this lift in my heart as I look up at the ceiling and flare my tailbone back behind me. This will be our seated cow. And then as you round your spine like an angry cat, push your heart back towards the back of the room. Look down towards your navel for seated cat. See if you can tuck your tailbone in a little bit. Okay, here we go to the breath. Inhale, seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. Push it back. Inhale, seated cow. Lift through the chest. Look up. Exhale, seated cat. Round through the spine. Press your heart back. One more, seated cow. Look up. Exhale, seated cat. Look back. Go ahead and walk your hands forward. We're going to come into a tabletop position. I want you to spread your fingers nice and wide, like you're going to like you're showing someone that you're 5 years old. And it's okay if you're not. Press your palms into the mat. And then lengthen your neck forward, lengthen your tailbone back. We're going to take those cat-cows the same way, this time in tabletop. So when you inhale, send your navel down towards the mat and see if you can find some flare in your tail as you look up. As you exhale, push your heart back up towards the ceiling. See if you can hug your abdominals in, maybe even knit in the low rib cage as you look back towards the back of the room and tuck your tail in. Inhale for cow pose. Tilt the navel down, flare the tail, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose. Round through your spine. Look down towards the mat. Tuck your tail. Inhale, cow pose. Look up. Exhale, cat pose. Look back. Very nice. From here, we're going to take this into a downward facing dog. But downward facing dog puts a lot of pressure on your palms. So if you prefer, if you're having a little tenderness in the wrist, you can stay in tabletop where you have some more stability with your knees on the floor. Otherwise, you'll tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward facing dog. That already feels like a lot maybe in the back of the legs here. You can go ahead and start pedaling out your downward facing dog, pedaling your feet, bending your knees. Try to let your head be heavy. Try to let your neck be soft. We won't be here for very long. All right. See if you can come to stillness. Pull your heels down. Lift your hips up and push your heart back. That's where you get that upside down V shape from. All right. Take a big breath into the nose. Exhale through your nose. Next inhale, look forward in between your two palms. Next exhale, step your feet up to meet your palms. Forward folding at the top of your mat. Here I like to bend my knees and let my stomach come down to the tops of the thighs here. You can let your head be heavy. You can take some movement. You can even separate your feet and then take some movement. I like to take one arm up to the ceiling and the other one down and then switch. Maybe even grab for opposite elbows or interlace your fingers behind your low back and let that fist fall over the crown of your head. When you're all done with that, drop your arms back down towards the mat, walk your feet together. And over the next couple of breaths, I want you to actually take a few breaths to do this. We're going to go from folded to standing. So it's going to take some time. See if you can really feel out that journey between folded and standing, noticing pressure in your feet. See if you can stack your joints, your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees, and then eventually unfurling the spine one vertebra at a time, coming up to standing. Standing in the middle of the mat. You can take your feet hips width distance or take a more narrow stance with your feet together. You can drape your palms to your sides, palms face forward. See if you can relax your shoulders. Pull the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. We're going to take those sun salutations that we did in my last video. So if you haven't done that, you might pop over there, see what they're about, or you'll stick around here. Okay, take your arms up overhead, biceps by your ears, look up towards the ceiling. Only if your neck allows. If you're feeling any tenderness, then keep your eyes forward. Maybe press your palms together or not. See if you can get a little taller, lift up through your sternum, root your heels, your toe pads down to the floor. Very nice. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, I want you to find a little back bend. We're going to start with the supported one. Interlace your fingers to the base of your skull, let your head drop into your hands, and see if you can draw your stomach, hips, thighs forward as you bring your elbows together. I'm going to turn so you can see what this looks like for me. So finding a lift in the chest, engage your glutes, squeeze your cheeks together. That's what that means. And then see if you can just relax your neck, your head into your hands. Like you're waiting for a bus in the sunshine. Breathe. Next inhale, take arms up overhead, reach up for the ceiling. On your next exhale, forward fold over your legs. Take your time, swan dive down. From here, a half lift. Take your hands to your shins or your thighs. Bring your spine to be almost like a tabletop. See if you can shift your weight towards your toes. Like you're looking over a bridge. Okay, these are really silly metaphors for some reason. Okay, from here on your next exhale, crouch and curl. Bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Bend your knees, round your spine. I like to come up on my tippy toes just to start to play with balance here. I'll squeeze my body very closely, find lots of compression, maybe take one arm around my two legs, maybe two. And that might cause you to fall down. So please always keep your palms on the floor until you feel ready to challenge yourself. This is our crouch and curl position. We're going to start the whole cycle over again. Inhale takes you all the way up to standing, arms up overhead, reach up. This time, a little back bend. Just bend your elbows, look at the ceiling, push your stomach, hips, and thighs forward. Engage your cheeks on your butt cheeks. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down. Your inhale's a half lift. Your exhale's crouch and curl. Remember, the breath is the most important thing about your practice. So if you're doing all this and you feel like you're constantly catching up to your breath, slow down a little bit, pause this video, come back to it. Focus on the breath. Inhale takes you all the way up. Stand up tall, rise up. Press your palms together. On your exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart, look at the ceiling. Inhale, rise up to standing, eyes forward, arms by your ears. Exhale, forward fold, dive down. Your inhale is a half lift, crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Your exhale is a crouch and curl, hands to the mat. Sit your hips down over your heels. And if you'd like to, you can bring your forehead down to your knees. You might feel a little bit of a stretch between the base of your neck to the base of your spine if you bring your forehead down to your knees. So from here, shift your weight forward, come back into your forward fold, and step your right foot forward. Then take your left knee back, your left foot back. Lower your left knee to the ground and tuck your back toes. Send your left foot to the right behind you so you can open up through the left hip, spinning your thigh bone outward. Then we're going to meet a supported warrior two. So you're going to take your right wrist over your right knee, your arms out wide like the capital letter T, and then look over your right middle finger for focus. This is where you're going to send your focus as you imagine pressing down through your legs, actively pressing down through your legs, feeling a sense of buoyancy through your upper body. So this downward pressure gives your upper body a sense of liftedness. Feel that structure and breathe into it. Okay, from here, straighten your right leg. Do whatever you need to do. You might take your hands to the floor first and then straighten your right leg. Perfectly fine. From here, take your right hand to your right foot. Your left arm up into the air. Reach up. Maybe take your left bicep to your left ear. And you can look down towards your right foot or up towards your left hand. Whichever makes you feel a little bit more grounded, send your right ribs up towards the ceiling more. Lovely. Come back, bend into your right knee. Find that stack. And you're going to take it to the other side. Bring your hands down. Bring your two knees together. Take your left foot out to the left. And your right foot is behind your right knee. Lift your chest. Open your arms. So here we are again, this time supported warrior two on the other side, finding that line through the center from your head all the way down to your knee. Can you feel the structure in your legs pressing down through your foot and your knee to feel some sort of upward lift through the upper body, arms out wide. Your left wrist over your left knee, your eyes over your middle finger. Take a moment and breathe into the structure. From here, you'll take your hands back down to the mat if you'd like to, or just straighten your left leg. From here, left arm down, right arm up towards the ceiling. Find that length through the right side. Maybe bring your right bicep a little closer to your right ear. See if you can swim your left ribs up towards the ceiling and breathe. Keep breathing. Move that prana, that energy through your body. Very nice. All right, come back down. Hands to the mat, knees to the mat. We're gonna take an active forward fold called half tortoise. So sit your hips down to your heels. I'm only turning again so you can see me. You can stay as you are. From here, take your palms up overhead, press your palms together. And this is a very active child's pose. And I want you to feel your abdominals engage as you fold forward. So engage your abdominals, eyes forward, fold forward. Take your time. See if you can prevent yourself from collapsing all the way down. Maybe your forehead touches the mat before your pinkies do. And then once your arms are on the floor, can you activate them and send them forward and send your tailbone back? If you'd like to take a softer child's pose, absolutely, that's totally fine. Breathe wherever you are. As you're ready, press your palms back together. Bring some activeness into your arms. And on your next inhale, come out of the posture the way that you came in, engaging your abdominals, sit all the way up. And lower your arms. From here, we're gonna take a little supported back bend in camel. Take your hands in front of you and then put them behind you. Now turn your hands so that your wrists face your body and your fingertips face away from you. And then look at the ceiling. You can stay right here looking at the ceiling, lifting your heart. Or if you would like more, take this into a little bit more of a back bend by lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Breathe. You don't have to go super high with your hips, but if you would like to get more height, engage your inner thighs more. Engage your glutes. Then softly release. Take your time. Slowly sit up. And then you're going to sit your hips off to the left or the right and take your legs long in front of you. Since you've been sitting on your legs, maybe you want to shake them out. Maybe you should shake out your legs. Okay. I really hope that when I do drop an album that you will all be very generous and go buy it. Okay, thank you. Take your arms up overhead. Flex your feet towards your face and then bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands around your feet, right? Because so if you're got your legs straight and you feel like, oh, I can't reach my toes, let me tell you a little secret of yoga. You can bend your knees. You can bend your knees to reach your toes. That's always an option for you. Bend your knees, reach your toes. Bend your knees, reach your toes. Reach your toes, bend your knees. All right, bend your knees, take your hands to your feet, and let your spine round, let your head be heavy. If you feel pain in your back when your spine rounds, you can keep your chest lifted and then maybe start to push your heels forward. Either way, you don't need to have perfectly straight legs here. Just take a forward fold. Breathe. All right, as you're ready, we're going to release onto the back for reclined pigeon. Bending the knees, soles of the feet to the floor. Take your right ankle up and over your left knee. You can stay right here like reading a book at the beach. Or you can interlace your fingers underneath your left knee and gather the whole structure of the legs in towards your chest. Maybe take a little rock and roll here on your spine. That might feel nice. A little low back massage. I like to make little circles with my pelvic bone. Hey-oh. And then release your hands. Release your feet back to the floor. Other side. Take your left ankle up and over your right knee. Interlace your fingies underneath your right knee and gather the whole structure in towards the chest. And take a little rock and roll. Side to side. And breathe. Remember, these postures can be held for as long as you want them to. So if you feel like you are really enjoying a longer hold here, pause the tape. We're asynchronous. We're outside of time. This yoga class could be 20 minutes for you, or it could be an hour. Right? Your choice. Go ahead and release your hands, release your feet. We're going to take a couple of moving bridges here just to, re-engage the blood flow. So take your hands down to the mat, press your palms firmly into the mat, tilt your pelvic bowl towards your face, and then lift your hips away from the mat. Lift up, engage your inner thighs, lift up, engage your glutes, and then roll down. Upper spine, mid spine, low spine down. Your pelvic bowl touches the mat and then rolls away from your face. Let's do that 2 times. Lift your pelvic bowl towards your face, then lift your low spine, middle spine, upper spine up. And slow release, upper spine, middle spine, low spine down. Pelvic bowl rolls forward. One more time. Tilt your pelvic bowl towards your face. Lift, lift, lift. And lower, lower, lower. Pelvic bowl rolls away. Take your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your 2 legs. And take a little moment here. In my classes at the Sweatbox, this is the Sweatbox Loft, by the way. In my classes in the Sweatbox, I like to pause during class in this position and just take a moment for gratitude while you're giving yourself kind of a full body hug in this Apanasana, wind removing posture. Maybe you might imagine something that you were grateful for, maybe some image or symbol behind your eyes. Can you breathe into that space? Can you animate that idea? Can you give it life? Take a big inhale in, squeeze it in. On your exhale, let it go. Let it go, let it free. Come into Savasana, palms face up, toes out wide. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your hips, relax your bones. Your bones are heavy, your muscles are soft. I recommend being in Savasana from 3 to 5 minutes if you have the time. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can always take Savasana laying down, or you could even take your Savasana in a meditative pose. Either way, that's the end of this video. I really appreciate you spending your time here. Please take rest after you move your body in these ways, and I will see you next time on the mat. Thank you. By the way, I will be starting live Zoom classes coming up soon, so please keep your ears out for that announcement. And I'll see you when I see you.